Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
It might be cold and dark outside as we wrap up the holidays and face another 3 months of winter. Or summer for you Southern Hemisphere folks. Yeah, feel bad for me. But no matter where you live, everyone feels a sense of fresh energy and rejuvenation at the start of a new year. For all you filmmakers out there, actors, writers, musicians, creatives in general, I want to fuel that fire and help you kick off the new year with the top 10 things you should do to start 2024 right. Just FYI, this applies to every new year, not just 2024. Rather than throw a list of unattainable resolutions at you, I'm giving you a concrete list of tricks and tips to help you achieve your resolutions, if that makes sense. There's a difference. Number 1, define your goals on paper and paste them to the wall. The simple act of writing something down forces your brain to boil down a nebulous thought into the constituents of a solid plan. How's that for a sentence? Basically, when you take time to look for the words to describe your dreams and feelings for the year, you are forced to make choices about the what as well as the why.
And I love that you're writing things down.
Sometimes writing words down and staring at them from the outside makes you see the road to achieving your desired goal. Other times it makes you realize that your energies would be better spent doing something else, which is also helpful. So always take time, 10 minutes on January 10th, who cares, to sit down with a pen and paper and write one sentence about what you want to achieve this year. You will be shocked, I promise. For me, I only work about 10 hours a week, and I used 3 hours of that precious time just staring at my calendar for the year, scribbling down pages and pages of word vomit. By the way, look up Cortex brand for these calendars. They're not a sponsor, they're just amazing. Then I wound up making a bullet list, and then I whittled that down to just 4 words. Boom! My compass for the year. Tip number 2, say no to at least 3 things this month alone. It is a classic mistake committed by many ambitious creators to bite off more than they can chew, especially right now, fueled by the hopes and dreams that accompany the fresh slate feeling of every new year. Saying no to a few projects during this time reins you in and forces you to remember that there are only so many hours in a day and only so many years our bodies will last. In other words, hold your horses. Like my mom told me when I was 12, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And like any reasonable preteen, I've replied, watch me. She patiently sighed that mom sigh that says you'll get it in time. So here's me, 30 years later, saying, Mama, I should ask you. Raise your hand if you've said yes to too many things and then felt like an utter and complete failure when one or more of your plates came crashing down. Yeah. Now keep it up if you've done this more than once. Guilty. That's what I'm trying to save you from here. A resolution means that you resolve to do something. Make a plan and carry it out. It is not a wish, much as many of us have come to synonymize the two. So saying no to 3 things this month will help you stay grounded in this time of yes and keep you from taking on too much right away. For me, I pushed back 5 things already. I said no to working on 2 short films. I'm probably going to skip the 48 in Providence this year. I'm still debating that one. I'm only going to 2 film festivals this year and it's killing me. And I'm scaling back the responsibilities that I had on The Wolf Boy this year. Some of these choices were very hard to make. I want to be everywhere, but if I'm going to reach my long-term plans, I have to accept my limitations, and time is one of them. So that means saying no to things that I would otherwise really love to do. Tip number 3, use a calendar. It is all well and good to say this year I'm going to make a short film, but it's another thing entirely to look at your calendar and say, all right, those 3 weekends in March look good. Now you've booked it. Booking it makes it official. Blocking off that time makes it much more realistic. You may still not know the what and the where and the how, but you have the when, and that's a big start. That's a real beginning. That's how magic starts to happen. So what do you want to do? Do you want to write a 5-page screenplay? How does next Tuesday at 3 p.m. work for you? Record an album that you already wrote the music to? 4 Thursdays from noon to 4 should do it. Do you want to shoot a DP reel? Block off this Saturday at 9 a.m. for planning and shoot next Saturday at 9 a.m. in your kitchen. Make it happen. Tip number 4, do not buy anything until at least March, preferably April. This may not apply to all of you, but for those of you considering the newest, hottest toys and seeing all those 50% off sales going on right now, I'm talking to you. Keep your wallet closed for at least 3 months. Why? Hand in hand with this need, this desire, this muse-like feeling that you're flooded with right now at the top of the year, pushing you to go out there and create the biggest art that's ever been arted, also comes the feeling to go out there and buy the biggest gear, as if having all of these accessories and gear and courses will magically make your art real. It is a lie. The cold, hard truth is that it's not the tool, it's the artist. If you are not creating what your heart wants to be creating right now, the gear is not the problem. Your strategy, scheduling, support systems, and willpower will help you achieve your goals, not whatever gear you have in your closet. So don't open your wallets until all of those other things are in place. And I know that's difficult right now, especially when all of the marketing heads are playing on your fear of missing out. And they push the lie that this new thing will make your life magically better. How many buy this course now sales have you seen? Or best price of the year sales? Marketing heads know that this time of year is when people spend their wish money, and they love that. They are counting on your impulse dream dollars. That's why I'm quantifying it for you. I'm not saying don't ever buy this new gear. I'm just saying it. Hold your horses for 3 months. So unless you have specifically planned for a particular sale and have done the research on whatever it is that you want to get next, don't shop for the first quarter of the year. That will give you lead time to set up your schedules and your habits, which is way more important than any piece of gear. I bet you will wind up saving money in the long run. Tip number 5, make sure you're organized. This one is nebulous. It means different things to different people. But you have to set a little bit of time aside to make this happen so that your goals have space to flourish. If you're a DP, make sure that you have a system for storing your footage, for example. Unlabeled hard drive sitting in a shoebox in the closet is not a system. Get that stuff sorted. Make sure there's a backup plan. Make sure there's a backup of a backup plan. Look at Casey Neistat. He has an entire room in his studio dedicated to storing footage and music. It's all organized with redundancy, and he knows where everything is. That is S tier. In fact, that's one of the bullet points on my weekly checklist, to make sure that every week I have a little bit of tidy time, because it helps my mental game as much as my physical space. So whatever organization looks like to you, make sure that you leave a little bit of space, schedule a little time to make your work area nice and amenable for your next projects to happen. Tip number 6. Look in the mirror and very kindly say to yourself, no one owes me anything. Wow, cold water, right? Why am I making you say that? All art is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. Be prepared to work, in some cases a lot, to make your goals happen. You want to land that perfect role? Keep practicing monologues and scenes when no one's looking. You want to write a feature? Go out there and write it before anybody asks you to. You want to go out there and make a movie? Go out there, book some dates, and start building your team. You have to have the drive to make it happen. Nobody is going to do it for you. Tip number 7. No matter what art you want to make this year, set aside some time to learn from the past. Even creators like Steven Spielberg advise you to go back and watch black and white films, to watch some movies that you really liked and break them down. If you're an actor, go out there and find some theater performances to attend. If you want to be a musical composer, find some music that you were inspired by and try to emulate it first before you start to create your own things this year. If you're a cinematographer and you want to build your own reel, pick 5 movies that you really liked and emulate 5 shots. See if you can do that in your own kitchen, in your own garage, in your own backyard. It may seem like you're imitating others, because you are, but you're also learning the grammar of the language that you want to speak professionally. And in filmmaking, that experience will come in very handy. So make sure this year to block off some time to look at what other people have done and see what lessons and inspiration you can pull into your own goals this year. Tip number 8. Schedule time for self-care. I know everybody is full of ambition, and especially when you're starting to get your career off the ground, it can be very easy to overlook your own needs to rest and relax and rebuild and spend time with your family, or spend time going out for an adventure that you don't want to film or that has nothing to do with whatever creative ambition you have. It is important to take care of yourself, even if it's just a day off, even if it's a little vacation, even if it's family time, whatever it is, you have to plan for it, build it in, and at least have one getaway a month or one weekend where you're not filming something. Whatever that looks like to you, schedule it so that it actually happens, is my advice to you. Taking time to rest is the best thing a creator can do. Your body flushes out the adrenaline that has been running on. You get to see something new, which is always inspiring for us creative types. A sunset here, a nice breeze there, a flock of birds there. All of this fuels our creative spirit, only makes us better. And then you come back recharged, ready to attack the next phase of your work.
God, I feel like a new woman!
Self-care is important. Tip number 9. Make some friends. What does that mean? I'm sure everybody around here has friends. If you are first starting out on your journey, the best thing to do at the top of the year is to join a few groups that you're not already a part of. Hook up with a Discord community, join a Facebook group, sign up for some newsletters with some community aspect to it. Go to a local mixer with filmmakers in mind. Go to a local meetup for other professionals like yourself. Do something to interact with other creative people like yourself with similar goals. You'll find that collaborative spirit will help propel you forward. You can help that person, they can help you. For some of you introverted types out there, this might be particularly difficult, but getting out there and making friends with people who have similar goals and similar aspirations and similar creative spirits and similar creative tastes as you can really push that collective needle forward. So set aside some time right at the top of the year and pick a mixer that you want to go to and put it in your calendar. And tip number 10, celebrate your wins. Who would have thought, right? Make sure that you acknowledge the things that went right for you. The things that went right last year, celebrate them, look back on them fondly, and tell people about them because you did great work last year and you're gonna do better work in this year. It's okay to talk about your wins. There are a lot of people in this industry that are introverted, that are actually like, I want to stand on a stage and do a performance, but then they don't go out there and they don't talk about the film that they made. They don't go out there and talk about the project that they wrote. They don't go out there and talk about any prizes that they won. They don't go out there and talk about any distribution deals that are on the table pending for them. Talk about those things. Why not? Go out there and celebrate your successes. It's not narcissistic to pat yourself on the back sometimes. Yes, staying there and sitting on your laurels is a bad thing. Yes, and many of us are afraid of doing that. But there's nothing wrong with celebrating those wins too, because those milestones don't come around all the time. And being grateful for the things that went right sometimes will fuel you to keep pushing for that next big win, which isn't always bad. And most importantly, as part of being an artist, you want to celebrate your art so that you can share your art, so that other people will see your art, and so other people will maybe be affected by it. That's the point of all of this, isn't it? Like, you're an artist. Whatever actor, writer, musician, filmmaker, whatever you are, at the end of the day, you're an artist. And artists want their work to be seen by other people. Even if it's just one person, but that person says, wow, that was great. That really changed my mind about XYZ, or that made me feel better. That is like the best thing an artist can hear. So go out there, celebrate your wins, and that way you'll share your art with the world, or at least your immediate sphere. So I hope this list helped you. Happy New Year. Go out there and make some great art. I want to hear all about it in the comments. If you have a tip to kick off every year right, please leave that in the comments below. I'll see you on my live streams. Check out my Ko-fi page. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. Look forward to new videos in 2024. And Happy New Year this year and beyond. Bye.